All right, welcome back. CSE 3200 Yukon Stores. The last video, which should have wrapped up Hello World, got cut off by technical difficulties. So here I am on another day. Got to figure out where I left off. Okay, so we had everything good on the UI side. The activity underscore main dot XML was all set, but we're wiring up our views. We have a button, and that's what we've wired up so far. Well, at least half wired up. We have, let's go here, let's go here. All right, so we have a button to wire up. We have an edit text to wire up and a text view to wire up. Wiring up involves two parts. We're going to get references to the inflated views. So that's the half that's been done for the button, and then set listeners. So I'm going to go right to setting the listener for the display button. Display button dot set on click listener. Okay, that is what I want. And I'm going to say that I want something of view of type view. Okay, it took a little while for the red to go away, and lately in class that has not been auto-completing. That was probably because of an internet connection, but for most people that automatically happens, and that's great. So I didn't have to do anything there as far as the imports. Okay, so now we're going to, inside of the set on click, get our references for our edit text and our text view. That auto-completed, and I think that is the ID that I have on the other side. I'm not getting an error. Yep, I think that's what I want. It is grayed out, the edit text, simply because I haven't used it. And I'm going to have my greeting, customized greeting, val greeting of type text view is equal to find view by ID. Is that the correct ID? Yep, I believe it is. Find view by ID. So I'm not sure if I said this in the last video because it was quite some time ago for me, but our R class is a built-in class whose sole responsibility is to keep track of IDs. These IDs over here, the display button, the name box, and the greeting text view, those were created over here on this other side. Let's go to the code here. So the display button, the name box, and greeting text view. Those are the IDs that I gave them. All right, it says I've got an error over here, and I don't see what it is, but I've got more to go anyway. It could be that I have not closed this. Let me close it and see if that error goes away. Yep, okay, so that's me talking. All right, so those are both gray because I haven't used them yet. Now I will use them. So what I want to do for the edit text is I want to capture the text after the button was hit, not while. I mean, I could type. I could capture like as a flow, but that's very difficult, and that happens in another 2 months. Okay, so we'll get there. But we are going to capture it when the button gets hit. So val text that was edited is equal to edit text. That would be this guy right here, the value. So get it from the edit text object, and I'm calling it edit text. I don't want edit text dot text, but I auto-completed because it was mostly what I wanted. Dot get text dot toString. Yep, autocomplete is perfectly fine there. All right, now I've captured that what is going to be in that box. Notice that edit text is now no longer gray because I've used it, but text that what was edited is. All right, so this is a suggestion for my next line. It is pretty close. Greeting.setText, hello plus text that was edited. It actually is exactly what I want. Okay, I'm going to run this and see if we have everything that works. And I'm going to talk about the way I have this coded. All right, so in one of my videos, I talked about how this has built-in behavior. This box does not. Okay, it's just a text box. I can't really interact with it. The display button, it has a behavior that's built in, and that you should see if I click it, a little bit of a blast like last time. It will get a little bit lighter purple. But I also gave it my own behavior. So the second part of wiring up, part 1 was get references to inflated views. Part 2 was set the listener. I only have one of these 3 things where I'm setting the listener, and that's for the button. Why? Because on day 1 or week 1, that's the easier way to do it. So when the button is hit, it will capture what is in edit text, and then it will then display a combination of what I got from edit text plus hello world. So if I start to type here, like Bob Chicken, and I hit display, and it says hello Bob Chicken. So it's working perfectly fine. All right, so that is kind of it, except for I want to explain my code just a little bit here. So I only set a listener for the button. I did not set a listener for the edit text. All I did was part 1. I just got the reference. That's because I didn't want to change its behavior. The built-in behavior was perfectly fine. However, I do find that this code is a little bit inefficient, and I'm probably leaving some things, not the way I normally would. For instance, do I have in my string folder any extra values? Okay, I do. But in some cases, I don't. See, I couldn't remember that from last week because some years I do it, some years I don't. Just depends on the time that I have to make these videos and to get stuff done in class. Okay, so back to my code. It is a little bit inefficient to get those views references every time I click the button. So it'd actually be better if I took these 2 lines of code and I put them up here, so that when my app is fired for the first time and the activity is created, that gets set here. Every time I push the button, it doesn't have to keep going to the R class to get that reference. It's pretty fast, but it's a little bit of improvement on efficiency there. Another thing that might seem a little bit strange is that these are vals instead of vars. So like even this one right here, that's because the strings are immutable. So it's not like I could take my old string, change it, and now that's the same string. So I pretty much have to recycle. So val for immutable. All right, so that's it. Hello World is wrapped up. I'll put this video online, and I will see you guys in Robot.